So let's talk about fear. Okay, so does anyone know why you procrastinate? Okay, so procrastination for many of us is because we're afraid of not being perfect enough. But not being perfect enough isn't really the issue here. Because not being perfect, well, there is no perfect person in the world. Okay, so not being perfect enough doesn't really count. You know, it's just an excuse for procrastinating. And the reason that we procrastinate is because we have all these fears inside of us that hold us back from actually doing what we want to do. And the way, like, these fears are, okay, so when you do the procrastination, there's the fear of not being perfect enough, which links back to the fear of not being good enough and the fear of being judged. Okay. Now, with the fear of not being good enough and the fear of being judged, what happens there is you get all of these things in your mind from a specific moment in time or many moments in time in your past where you were criticized or you were belittled or something bad happened to you, and you've made that all about you. So you brought that into the here and now, and you're thinking, well, what if that happens again? What if this happens? Or why can't I get this right? And that's not actually the way that you should be looking at it. Okay, because if you eliminate the procrastination and you work on those fears, so every day just put something out there that, you know, is a little imperfect, you know, be productive instead of being unproductive and procrastinating. So if you think that, you know, you're messy and you're scattered and you don't know what you're doing, put a schedule together and a checklist together and tick things off as you go along, because that'll keep you organized and that'll make you less chaotic and messy, right? And in that plan itself, it is actually helping you tackle your fear of not being organized enough, your fear of being scattered, your fear of not being able to get things done in time. And that tackles the bigger fear of not being good enough. Okay, so for me, I used to get anxiety around finances, and how I tackled that was I was a contractor in the IT industry for a good many years. So I had to learn how to face that fear and fast, because I would be in and out of work all the time. So how I did that was I used to plan and budget things out. Okay, so before I got paid, I would sit down and I would think, okay, so what are my bills? You know, what are my living expenses? What do I need to do for entertainment? Is there anything else that I need to pay? Is there anything else that I need to use my money for in the next week, fortnight, or month? And I would sit there and I would write it out, and then I would total everything up. And then when that time came to getting paid, I'd go and pay everything. Sometimes I'd even have a payment plan where I could pay in advance for things, so that it would actually help me with my finances a lot more, because then I'm not so worried about, you know, when I was out of work or anything, because I've already got things paid up. So, you know, in order to be that way, you actually have to look deep down inside yourself. You have to do some work on yourself, figure out what your triggers are for, for that feeling of not being good enough, for that procrastination, you know, for that fear of being judged. You know, over the past year, when we had COVID, I had to tackle my fear of being in front of in front of an audience, in front of a camera, because honestly, still shots, Yep, I'm great with a professional photographer. When it comes to actually talking in front of a camera and being fluent and knowing what to say, if I plan it out ahead of time, unfortunately, I'm like a deer in the headlights. So I like to actually, just before I go on camera, I'll think of a topic, and then from there I'll roll with it, because I know that's how I actually get more fluent and better at speaking to you, and so that I can show you that I actually know what I'm talking about. Okay, so not a lot of my videos have actually even been planned out. It's just as I think of them, I do them. You know, the only way that you are going to be good enough is, it's if you actually do the work on yourself, take action, do the personal development work that you need to figure out, what things you like about yourself, what things you don't like about yourself, where you are now, where you want to be in the future, what's holding you back right now, and work on those things. Life is a constant journey, and so is your relationship with yourself. You have to constantly keep building on that relationship with yourself. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself, how can you actually expect others to respect you and what you say? You have to respect yourself first. You have to love yourself first before others can love you. And you know what? Confidence comes with time and practice. There are no quick and easy fixes with confidence. I've still got my heart racing right now being in front of you guys. And that's going to take a little bit of time to get through. But you know what? At least I'm trying. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I hope that you've gotten some value out of this video, and I shall speak to you again soon. Have an awesome Sunday afternoon. All right, bye.